Our next step is to have a logo on the left-hand side with text on the right-hand side in the banner. To do this, you need to add to your banner rule, display flex, and align item center. Please take your holidays logo from your raw assets folder, and if you're working in Visual Studio Code, you'll want to copy it into an images folder. If you're in project space, you'll need to create an images folder and upload the logo into it. In your CSS, please add in a rule for the logo, apply a padding of 10 pixels, and float it to the left. In index.php, here is the code that you need to add in the logo. Note that it goes inside your banner div. When you add in images, it's really important that you also have an alt tag, which allows us to put in some alternate text that will help to make our website accessible to visually impaired users. Please link your image to the front page by enclosing it in an ahref tag and linking it to index.php. In your style sheet above the grid areas, please set up a rule called common and put in a padding of 20 pixels. Then in my index.php, for each of the divs where I want those rules to apply, inside the speech marks I need to add in that word common. So I need it in my banner, which includes the logo. I need it in my nav. I need it in my main, and I need it in the footer. I can then save, and when I reload, we can see that that padding has been applied to each of those divs. If you'd like, you can also experiment by applying a border radius to your common code. And when we save and reload, we can see that that looks quite good. Our next step is to, of course, change those colors. So here's a quick way of doing that. I'm going to right-click and choose to inspect. Then in the right-hand side, you can click on any of the divs in the upper area, and in the lower area, you're looking for colors that you can then click on and edit. You can use the eyedropper tool, mouse over to your logo, and choose a color from your logo to then recolor an area to match. You can do this for as many divs as you'd like. You can also use the color selection area without the eyedropper tool to change the colors so that they work. And after a fair bit of experimenting, this is one possible color palette, and this is another option. And if this were an assessment, I would take screenshots of both, and I'd probably get some user feedback to help me decide what my final colors will look like. One thing that you should be aware of is as you edit in your inspector, it does tell you which line of code you need to change to make those changes permanent. So if I do want to go with this particular color scheme, in line 40 of my CSS, I can copy that color code and replace our original deep blue with a new color. Part of my trialing did involve making some big changes to my logo class, and in this case what I'd do is I'd select all of the rules, copy them, and in my holiday style sheet I would simply overwrite and then fix any indenting issues. In the next video we're going to make some changes to the fonts, and then we're going to add a little bit of information in our main and footer areas.